This is the UK's rarest animal, and this is where it lives. And these are some of the conditions I'm going to endure to find it. Oh God. I made 2024 the year I searched for the almost unsearchable, a bucket list animal to see in the wild of the UK, so join me on this journey through the gorgeous Cairngorms National Park, through heavy snowfall to beautiful sunshine, up the mountains and in the forests where unusual things are sighted.
That's so weird.
On the search for a glimpse at the UK's ultimate and rarest wildlife.
Oh my God.
The Capercaillie is on the brink of extinction in the UK for the second time. The largest grouse in the world, an impressive bird and unmistaken if seen. It first vanished around 1785 through hunting as well as loss of habitat, and it was subsequently reintroduced in the 1830s from Sweden, and numbers in the UK did well. It was reported in the 1990s that there were well over 20,000 of them in the Highlands of Scotland. But now, in 2024, the Capercaillie is once again back on the brink with only 542 left, and in a few years' time, there could be none. Now, the Scottish wildcat is probably the hardest animal to see in the UK. Cats are notoriously secretive and elusive, and that doesn't even take into consideration that their population in the UK is thought to be less than 100. The population has recently been upped thanks to a reintroduction project from Saving Wildcats though. They released 20 wildcats in 2023 and plan to reintroduce more for years to come. Sightings of these animals are few and far between though, mainly being seen on camera traps. But we're out here giving it a go anyway. In the beautiful Cairngorms National Park, you join us on day one for one of the hardest searches yet.
Good start. Welcome along to this project. We're searching for a couple of the rarest animals in the United Kingdom. Capercaillie, Wildcat. And this is the start of it. So we've come off to a remote part of Scotland, in the snow and the forest and all this heather down here, in search of these exciting animals that can be found in the UK. Possibly, maybe, probably not, who knows, but we're going to give it a go. So join us on this journey as we trek through the snow. We plant camera traps and we do search for the hardest animals you can search for in this country. This weather, this is not a good start. This is not what we want to see, but we are coming ready for it. So this is the first part. So what we're going to do here is we're going to basically do a little scouting mission. We're going to walk on off into the distance and we're going to see what we can see. We've got a couple of camera traps that we're going to place and see what they see in a few days time, but in a few days time as well we are going to go head over into there. We're going to camp, we're going to stay, and we're going to really try and nail down what we can find.
We set off through the snow that eventually turned into a blizzard, crossing rivers and surveying the area on the lookout for potential signs of interest. One thing of note through this long journey was how beautiful the area actually was, and eventually we did actually settle on a place of interest.
Yeah, we found some trails and the cameras are going down. So this area we're in right now, to me, looks an absolute dead ringer for Capercaillie. It just looks perfect. It's got cover, it's got the right look to it. Cappers, if you're out there, we're coming for you.
The snow fell some more, but we carried on our journey until we came across a bothy in which to rest and dry off a bit and wait until the weather was better.
So nice. The sun is out over that direction and we've just stayed in this place hidden right deep in the woods of Scotland, and we met a guy there who's been telling us all sorts of stories. Been telling us about the Capercaillie and the Wildcat, and they are around this area. They are in this vicinity. Actually, as it goes, as we walked up this path, there was a hare sat in the middle of it. I swear to God, now bear in mind my eyesight's bad, I thought the thing was a bloody lynx. Because it was like, imagine just down the track, right? It was gigantic. It was massive. And I was like, what the flipping heck is that? But genuinely, in that moment, like, because it's far away, I didn't have my eyes are bad. And I was like, lynx? But no, apparently not, it was a hare. There's a lynx in my eyes.
Don't know what it is, but it's fresh and possibly is a wildcat.
Like you can see around here, the snow's cleared up from earlier and it only snowed today. So this is what we've got, and this is what we've seen. So do you want to put them closer together so we can actually get like a side by side sort of thing?
I mean, it's not perfect, but you got the curve, don't you, of the front paw.
Like this one bottom right here, I think is very similar to what we can see there.
But that could be anything.
But what's the key thing we're not seeing?
Just claw marks.
There's no claw marks.
Which dogs, foxes usually have.
Yeah, and another thing we should say is we haven't seen
Any dog walkers or anything up
no
there.
dog walkers, no dogs, no foxes. Oh, I don't know. We'll leave that to you. Is that a wildcat footprint out here in the most remote? Like, look at it. Could that be a wildcat? Because these tracks are fresh today. We didn't see them earlier, so it could have happened in the last few hours. I don't know, mate. That's it's of interest to me. But guys, what do you think that is? Cat? Dog? Let us know. Right, we're on to the next part of the mission. We've parked up in quite a busy area, and it might sound surprising, but in this area there's been sightings of wildcat. One of the reintroduced wildcats seems to be seen around here semi-frequently. So we've come into this little bit of woodland, which then goes on to like the campsite around this area in the search, because I'm going to play this footage now for you. So this thing right here is called the Pine Martin Bar, and that footage you saw of the cat just comes across the road here and in that way. There's a fence for it as well, so it crosses the road nicely from this area and over into that direction. But that's someone's house there, so someone's got a wildcat in their garden. And I mean, wow, this place has got a wildcat knocking around it. You can see like it's a big built up campsite, so it's quite busy, quite popular. So for a wildcat to be around here is pretty crazy. But we're just going to go in now and speak to the people in the bar, see what they say. And you specifically, do you see it often?
I've seen it about half a dozen times maybe.
Really?
I found this really interesting. The staff at the Pine Martin Bar had seen a regular wildcat, and the last sighting was just over a week ago. We were chatting for a few minutes, and they told us that it had been killing ducks on the shore of the loch. So after that chat, we head outside the bar to go for an exploratory walk, knowing that we'd be doing the same thing later on, except then it'd be dark and we'd have thermal.
Well, it's nice out here, I'll give it that. It is absolutely stunning. And as you've probably guessed, we obviously haven't found a wildcat yet. But this is definitely an area which we would expect to see one anyway. There's maybe too many people around for that to happen. But based on the previous experiences of other people, it's definitely something that could happen. And I also really like this. This up here looks like splendid Capercaillie habitat. All right, brother, let's go night hunting for kitty cats. Oh, you can go, guys, you can tell how cold it is, hey? Oh God. Right then, let's go in there. God, it's so cold out tonight, eh? It is freezing, isn't it? I feel sorry for the cat that could be in this forest. Right, we've got our first bit of excitement. I've just picked up something through the thermal in this woodland here. It was running away. Did you get a good look at it, Jake?
Not an amazing look, but I think it was a deer from the way it was like bounding.
Damn. I think I might have filmed it a little bit. But it was, that's the first bit of excitement we've had this whole time. And it's come right at the end when we're on this road. Prime Caledonian forest. Here we go.
We began our search on this really cold and fresh morning. One thing about this part of the UK, it's always pretty cold. It's alright though, because for its coldness, it's also absolutely gorgeous.
Oh. You seen that? What? It's an abandoned car. It's a right old banger. Sick. Mate, see what tyres. That's so weird. Oh man, it must have been here a long time.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I don't know what sort of like make it is. There's a tin on the back. Looks like it's ancient as well. That's mad. Crazy how there's still tyres.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that crazy I suppose, but it just looks really weird. So it's an Olympia. I don't know what that is. It's a badge. Look at that. Like, can't get this across, but we are remote. Oh, well, we haven't found a Kappa or a Wildcat, but found an old abandoned car right in the middle of the woods. That's wicked. That's so cool. Olympia. It looks well old. It looks like something straight out of like the 30s or the 40s, doesn't it? Yeah, like the bottom's completely like rusted away. That's so sick. Right, I can't really see, but that's so cool. Love that.
I tried digging online to see if there was anything more about this abandoned car in the forest. There isn't really. I was hoping to give you a story about it, but there's just not a lot. The car appears to be a 1940s Opel Olympia. Any sort of story as to why it's there though is a complete mystery. Anyway, rare animals wise, we hadn't got anything, unsurprisingly. One thing we were noticing while doing these searches was the complete lack of wildlife just anywhere. But remember those traps we left out? Well, it's been a few days, so it was time for our last big effort. We geared up, travelled in the dark and arrived at a familiar bothy. We entered caveman mode, had a terrible night's sleep, but we were then prepared for what was hopefully going to be the day we found something exciting. Day 4.
We've got a new addition to the crew.
Who's still munching?
He's sorry, he's still eating some food. This is Ed.
Hello.
And we've still got Jacob, unfortunately. So what we're going to do this morning, we're going to head over to the camera traps we placed a few days ago. And it's bright and early, so we're going to have a look for some... oh yeah, we'll just say the early part. It's not that bright. We're going to look for the animals now, because it's early in the morning. Usually activity happens now. So let's see what we can see as we head on into this rainy day. Okay, we're at the cameras. What have we got?
Literally nothing.
Absolutely nothing?
No.
Oh my god.
The only footage on there is me putting it up and taking it down.
That's not good. we're in a place which we thought would be good for, well, all sorts. Apparently not. So that's quite disappointing. How long's it been out? 5 days?
5 days.
Nothing has gone through it in 5 days. Damn. Right, as you can see, it's quite wet. And now I'm actually on my own. Ed and Jacob have walked on ahead of me. Don't really know where they've gone, so I don't think we're on the same path anymore. Feeling a bit under the weather, I can't lie. But more importantly, have I seen anything? No, I have not. I have not seen anything resembling the sounds of a Capercaillie or a Wildcat. I haven't seen anything that resembles them either. What I have seen though, and I haven't got footage of it because it happened so fast, was like a good sized dark coloured bird flew through the forest. I couldn't get a good look at it. Could it have been a goshawk? It's possible. Ultimately though, I don't know what it was, and I can't even speculate it because it just sort of glided through and that was it. I got like 2 or 3 seconds of this bird just going, all right, see ya, and that was it. So I don't know what to tell you about that. It's I didn't get a good idea of it. Dark bird though, it's a good size. Like, if I say buzzard size, it might sound a bit silly, but it probably was that size wingspan. I wonder how Jacob and Ed are getting on though. I wonder if they've seen anything. We can't even communicate because there's no signal out here, so it's just like I'm aimlessly wandering through just in the hope that I might see something. But maybe they have. Boys, please tell me you've seen something.
Kappa shit, lots of it. And potentially a killed kappa.
Yeah, we found this.
Have you seen an actual bird?
No.
Bits of it.
What's this? Oh snap, is this a feather of it?
I think so.
Can't really think of what else has feathers that big.
Yeah.
So me and Jake think we might have found a kill. Because there's a lot of black and brown feathers.
You mean kappa?
Kappa, yeah. Golden eagle could probably take it.
Could a fox?
Ooh.
Fox could have it, couldn't it?
It could do.
Could
a bit
do.
of challenge, right?
Yeah.
Or a badger or something. But you're probably looking at a goldie, right? With all the doom and gloom of not seeing and hearing anything, to find a kill and fresh signs of where a Capercaillie was really exciting. We now had an area of potential. We believe the remains here are from a male Capercaillie that was potentially hunted by a golden eagle. It's a good indication that we're in the right area, that's for sure. And for Jacob and Ed to then find fresh scat as well gives the hope that there is still an animal in close enough proximity. With that in mind, we rustled up a new plan for the 5th and final day. The plan is, in the morning, they're going to take this part of the forest, and I'm going to take the other part of the forest, and hopefully we shall see Capercaillie or a wildcat. So I travelled back to the van, and then it was up with the light to tackle the search ahead. Oh mate, these are so wet. Today is the final day, it's the final morning of trying to find a Capercaillie or a wildcat. It's just gone past 5:30 and I've got a few hours until we've got to go. So this is it. So on come these muddy, wet boots because I fell into the river last night. These are absolutely soaking, all squishy and horrible. But it's got to be done because I want to find one of the rarest animals in the UK. Right, it's not looking good. I've got myself to above the tree line basically, and I seem to be climbing a mountain now. So, haven't heard one. I definitely haven't seen one. And the worst part about it is I haven't seen any sign of them either. Boys, how are we?
Tired. Alright.
Give me some good news.
We're here. I don't think they exist.
We failed.
We've seen evidence, just not the actual bird.
We've seen everything we can see apart from the animal itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh man.
We've even got DNA evidence of it.
Yeah. Okay, alright. Let's get you in the warm then, yeah?
Nice shower.
Cool. That's such a shame. Oh well.
Time was up. The Capercaillie breeding season was about to kick off and we didn't want to disturb that. It runs from April to August, and during these months it's best to leave the Capercaillie well alone so they can hopefully get their numbers up. Disturbance at this crucial time can lead them to not breed for that year, and that can have severe impacts on the fragile population already in the UK. So let's fast forward now until September for when it's safe to go looking again. With the experience learnt from the first search, this time round should hopefully provide a greater chance of success. We'll start with the slightly less rare of the extremely rare, the Capercaillie. Quite simply, new knowledge has been extremely hard to come by for this one, mainly down to people not wanting to share it and no one posting about it on social media. That means I'm pretty much still in the same situation as I was around 6 months ago for this. Wildcat though is slightly different, but also has been hard to come by. Saving Wildcats actually posted to their Instagram story a photo from a conference in which the release areas were visible in the background. I'm not sure if this was purposeful, but it also wasn't hidden. This area is also very close to a wildlife hide, and they've reported a wildcat on rare occasions that passes through. It's not built with wildcats in mind, but it has been seen, so that's definitely an area that I'll be checking out. So with that said, I'm changing the approach from last time and I'm hitting new areas.
Right, I'm loaded with 4 traps in here, 4 camera traps. I've got the little one and I've got 3 others here. We're locked, we're loaded, and we're going to head out over into all of this. This is Inshriach Forest. Could be home to both cats and birds. I'm going to try and find any habitat that looks suitable, get these up, and we'll see what the results are. Maybe out there we'll see a bird, but look how good this weather is. It's absolutely fabulous.
Off I went then, looking for potential suitable areas, and it wasn't long until I found something that may be of interest.
This bit right here, not for Capercaillie, but I feel like this would be a good little area for wildcats to hunt in. And this is the sort of areas I'm looking for, just outside of the main forest areas. So I'm wondering if this is a good spot. Not necessarily to put a trap down there, but perhaps on the outskirts of the forest line. So I'm just to the side of that now, and this is the sort of area that I really like the look of, and I feel like there's loads and loads of cover, so I'm actually going to walk into there.
Wildcats like to hunt for their prey on woodland edges, and these places look perfect to me.
Right, I'm heading from there down that way because there's water and I like the look of that as well, but we've got a trap on ready to go in case something walks through there. Hopefully, fingers crossed it does.
For the next one though, I had a slightly different approach.
Camera 2 is down and it's pointing this way at these fallen trees. You may be wondering, Cookie, why is it pointing at these trees that are on the floor? This area doesn't look the best. And I agree with you, the area doesn't look the best, but it's fine because this is what we're after and we've got a few of them to choose from. The reason is areas like this and that one over there are frequently used by Capercaillie to dust bathe when the conditions are dry enough, which it might get to in the time that I'm here, it might not. They will go into there, they'll have a little shake and a shimmy and get all the parasites off them. So I'm planting one here in the hope that a Capercaillie does turn up to any one of these fallen trees, or a wildcat walks past. That'd be great.
By the time I was putting the last one down, I thought this video was about to end early.
Oh my god, guys, I think I've got a deer. Deer just crossed over there. I'm not joking, I think I've just seen a cat in there. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know if that was a cat or if it was just a deer, but I can't describe it. It was something smaller in here and then the deer popped out. So I'm trying to work out if that was just the deer coming up and have we spooked it, or if a cat was there as well and the cat spooked the deer. So I swear I saw something in the bracken. But oh my god, if I see a Scottish wildcat right now, I am going to freak out. Okay, let's go in. Okay, I'm starting to think it was just the deer. There's like areas here where they could have chilled out. Guys, I don't think it was a cat. I think I got too excited. I just saw it in the bracken first, moving, and it looked shaped up to be a cat. But this bracken, it's quite high on me. It's up to my waist, and I'm 6 foot tall. So I'm thinking that was probably a deer. First bit of excitement though, Jesus Christ. I got so excited then, I thought that was it. I thought straight away that was going to be a Scottish wildcat.
Too much excitement there. What I saw didn't look big enough to be a deer, but I guess it had to have been. Ah well, plenty more time for excitement as camera 4 goes down, and I decide to return later on for a little night walk.
Jesus Christ, it is dark. Not anymore. Alright then, here we go. I appear to have the sun in my hand, and we're going on a little night walk in the middle of the forest. Me, the torch, the thermal, and my phone. Why is it everything at night just looks absolutely terrifying? So I'm looking through my thermal as we go. Nothing has popped up yet. It's quite cold tonight. It's probably about 3 degrees, 4 degrees right now. So something will pop up if it's there. I'm on this big rock pile again. And if we can show you this is that big field that I thought would be pretty good. Well, I've just looked through the thermal and I've seen nothing. So maybe not. Well, maybe not right now, that's for sure. So these woods, these forests, pretty much anywhere in the Cairngorms will have pine marten, will have badgers, foxes, red deer. Pretty much anything cool in this country will be where I am. But nighttime gives me better chances of wildcat.
I was walking along, scanning the thermal as I went, desperate to get a glimpse of something.
Jesus Christ, that's a flattering image of me, isn't it? My God, that light is bright as well. I found nothing. I've been out probably about half an hour to an hour, so nothing mega. But I'm getting nothing on the thermal. Nothing through the torch. So I'm a bit like, do I just leave this to camera traps and hopefully the camera traps can pick something up, because I think this is pretty pointless. One thing I do need is a hide, and I forgot to bring it.
And unfortunately, even dipping off the tracks for a Slenderman experience, I saw absolutely nothing at all. So I called it a day there and got up early on day 2 to go and do some researching for the Capercaillie.
I am here at RSPB, Lochgarten, and I'm going to do some searching for information about some Capercaillies. So it's a really lovely area, Lochgarten, and it's where the ospreys were sort of reintroduced back in 1952, I think it was. Not necessarily a reintroduction, but wild birds sort of came and colonised the area once again after a short period of extinction to the UK, I suppose. Okay, so here is the visitor centre, and here is the bird that I want to see, the Capercaillie. Check this thing out as well, by the way. This is the second longest bird feeder on the planet. How mad is that? Outside that way, there used to be, it's not there anymore, there used to be a Capercaillie lek, and you used to be able to come here to the visitor centre, use a scope and watch the Capercaillie do their thing during the breeding season. But it's not there now, unfortunately, because that would be really easy for me.
I looked around the visitor centre and it was interesting to learn about the osprey in the area. They even have a live camera feed on a nest which you can also see with a scope. Better yet, there are some white-tailed eagles flying around the Cairngorms that the RSPB are also keeping tabs on, so that's pretty cool. And then there was this map of the Cairngorms on the floor. Everything inside the blue is Abernethy National Nature Reserve. This is allegedly the stronghold for Capercaillie in the UK, and it's colossal. This also forms part of the Cairngorms Connect project, which is the biggest nature restoration project in the UK. The Cairngorms Connect areas are also where the wildcat reintroductions have been happening.
After spending a bit of time inside the visitor centre talking to people who will not tell me a single thing, by the way, big up the RSPB for not giving out Capercaillie information, I get the impression this place is the best place to be trying to find Capercaillie. Interestingly, actually, one of the people in there said one of their colleagues saw a wildcat on one of the roads around here. So that is very interesting, because I didn't really think they would be here. I thought they would be at their release sites or near enough the release sites, but to hear that there was one spotted just on the road, like out that way, is really, really cool.
So with this knowledge acquired, I decided it was a good time to head into Abernethy National Nature Reserve and get looking for an extremely rare bird.
Just listen. Nothing. Now a little bit about these. They're the Pulsar Merger NXP50. Thermal like this is honestly such a game changer when it comes to looking for animals. And hopefully I can prove that to you in this video. But look at this, guys. This is good. I like this. It'd be amazing now for Capercaillie was to just sort of burst out into the road on the path and just give me a show. Look at this. Look how cool this is. We've got the skull of a red deer. That looks really impressive. Oh man, it's so heavy. Whoa, look at this. Let's get this big bird on here. No way. That is wicked. What a thing to find. Damn. That looks really cool. Yeah, that is red deer. That's amazing, isn't it? Proper cool looking.
Now, this may disappoint a few of you, but I didn't take it. It didn't really occur to me to do that at the time, but I guess looking back, that would have been a great memory to keep. Anyway, we move onwards and something is making a noise.
Sounds like there's some sort of work going on ahead of me, which is obviously no good for wildlife. It's really loud. I'm wondering if it's some sort of forestry stuff, but yeah, I can't imagine I'm going to see a lot with that racket going on. But I'm still using the thermal, still looking about. I'm still not finding anything. I was going, you know, at the start of this when I got out of the car and I was like, it's so quiet. Well, that's gone and very much ruined it.
I could finally see what was going on, and it was robo cutting. This is actually for the Capercaillie, and because we're out of breeding season, it's taking place now. The aim is to strip back areas of heather so Capercaillie chicks have a better chance of survival. In particular wet years, chicks struggle to move through the wet heather and are at higher risk of hypothermia. Also, this allows Capercaillie food to pop up, like blaeberry. So while I'm seeing it right now as a disturbance because chances of me seeing a Capercaillie around it is remote, in the long run, it's massively beneficial to the species here in the UK. So I guess I will take that trade-off.
I've essentially climbed and I've seen absolutely nothing apart from the odd small bird through the binoculars. There has been absolutely nothing of joy for me here.
I carried on walking around and then driving around, but sadly nothing was forthcoming on day 2. So we roll on to day 3 and I'm back at Inchriach.
Well, there's some blue skies this morning. Weather's coming in from that way, so it looks alright. But through the night, Jesus Christ, it rained. It rained a lot. So we're going on a long walk, and wildcats live here. They were released here, but also in this woodland apparently you have the Capercaillie. Fingers crossed we get something. Anything, please. Well, straight off there's a tree over there and it is littered with little birds. It legit looks like a Christmas tree. There's so many little birds on it. Right, so I'm panning left. I'm looking over the field and I'm not getting any heat at the minute. Nothing at all. Do you know what? I just want to see any sort of animal other than small birds. So if I can get a deer, a fox, maybe a pine marten, anything like that would be great. I'd be really up for that. Onwards we move. Oh, I can hear it. There's a woodpecker. You might be able to see it. It's flying. Go on, son. So I haven't found much in the way of animals, but check these mushrooms out. Look at that. That one looks absolutely spectacular. So I got another interesting find. I have no idea what this is, unless it's one of them like forestry ripper upper things, but it's yep, that is metal, and it's just chucked out here. It's like tracks. It looks like almost like tank tracks. But yeah, weird. It's just dumped here in the forest, in and amongst this lot. But yeah, it's a strange one. I didn't expect to see something like that. But I've had nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not a sniff of anything of particular interest. Crossbills and woodpeckers, yeah, cool. But nothing else.
So I was finding this hard. Every trip out was resulting in pretty much nothing of interest or relevance, and for storytelling in a video, that makes it quite repetitive, so I've cut it down quite a bit. Rest assured though, I was out a lot and I wasn't seeing a lot. But if you cast your minds back to earlier on in the video, I mentioned there was a wildlife hide that has had a Scottish wildcat appear at it. So in the evening of day 3, I decided that's where I was going to go, and fingers crossed we actually get some animal action going on. To give you a bit of context, we're going to see some badgers. Badgers are a definite. That's what this is about. You may see some pine marten. That's their big draw, right? Is badgers definite, pine marten maybe, and recently, thanks to last year's releases, wildcat rarely. So they've had wildcat come through their hide, and they've been very excited about it. So I'm here on the off chance that I get to see one. Is this cheating? I don't know. I don't like doing hide stuff. I like finding it proper, you know? But you guys let me know. Am I cheating? Is this cheating? I don't know. So then, into the hide area I went. It's quite a nice setup that looks through glass. It's not designed for photography though, just for viewer enjoyment. But peanuts, peanut butter and raisins are scattered for both badger and pine marten to potentially show. They have a couple of cameras on hand as well that monitor around the hide. And it wasn't long until the first visitors came to say hello. The European badger. An animal that is loved everywhere around the world for being this polite and cute looking creature. In the UK though, hated by a lot of people. During the badger showing, quite a few turned up, and then a bouncy pine marten also made an appearance. I was sat there now desperate to see a wildcat. Could it appear? No wildcat made its presence known. So now, after 3 days, I'm still no closer to finding a Capercaillie or wildcat. So for day 4, now feeling extremely desperate, I got all the camera traps in to review the footage. Maybe this is where we can move forward.
Right then, cameras collected, laptop ready to go. Let's see what is on these things. Right, the first one we've got has got 4 videos on it, so this isn't promising from the start. The first clip on here is a couple of red deer, so that's pretty cool. There's a youngster in there, and then that's me collecting it. That is it from that one. All right, second camera trap. Ooh, okay, there's a lot for this one. Man, there's 68 files. Oh my god, this could be really good or really bad. Okay, so file 1 is long grass moving, and I reckon all of them are going to look like this. Oh, we've got something. I mean, weirdly, it looks like a honey badger. It's not, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the way it's bouncing, that's a pine marten. Oh, that's amazing. Wicked. We've got a pine marten. Love that. Hey, next one we've got badgers. There we go. That's really cool to see. What was that? Something random. It's 2 pine marten. No way. That was wicked. So I think what happened then is a pine marten was spooked by the light of this camera going off, tried to dart up a tree, they realised it was fine, and then another one popped out and they both ran past it. That was incredible. That's so cool. 2 pine martens. Mate, the way they climb trees is crazy. Such a lightweight, nimble animal. They look quite young, these two. I wonder if they're youngsters. That's wicked. Right, we've got our way through that one. Quite a few pine marten and the odd badger. That was wicked. We're now going for the third one, whatever the one this is. Oh, no. There's only 3 on this one, and I bet 2 of me picking it up. So that one was supposed to be for the Capercaillie, and obviously nothing came, which is a real shame, but that's fine. Let's move on to the last one, which is what I thought was going to be a highway for animals. Hello. Oh, that's a red squirrel. Yeah! Yes, a red squirrel. We love to see that. Oh, he's coming right up to the camera as well. We've got another pine marten. This one looks a little bit bigger than the other 2. I knew this was going to be a highway. Oh, perfect. That's cat food. That's wicked. That's really good to see, actually. Oh, I don't want to get too excited, but the cat's dinner has been found. Now, is the cat on here? Hello, what have you got? The fox. The fox has a kill. Oh, he's dropped it. Oh, that was really weird. I wonder what that was. What has he got in his mouth there? He's got something of good size in his mouth. What is it? I can't tell. He just drops it on the floor. Okay, he's picked it up again. It's long. I reckon that might be a pine marten in his mouth. It's really frustrating because he doesn't come up to the camera. He looks at the camera, but you can't tell what it is. By the way he's holding it, and it's like flopping, it looks quite long. Oh, I don't know. I can't tell what that is. I don't know if that's like a rat or if it's like a baby pine marten, or I don't know what that is. Or is it a squirrel? You guys in the comment section, let me know what you think that is. But that's going to do it on that one. And do you know what? It's a mixed bag. Now, the highway did prove to be a bit of a highway, but it wasn't a highway to the animal that I wanted, the Scottish Wildcat. So, we've picked up some really good things. That's really good. But I'm wondering now what the game plan is. I reckon we need to put another camera up in the highway zone, for example. There was a lot going through there. A lot was happening in a few days. So I think we definitely need to put one back up there. And then it's possibly a case of finding somewhere else to put up some of these cameras, because 2 of the 4 didn't really produce. It was positively exciting, let's put it that way, but we're no closer to a wildcat. So while I can enjoy watching pine martens and foxes with something in their mouths, it's not close enough. So we're going to have to think of another game plan.
I went back to the highway zone and stuck up 2 cameras instead of 1 this time, each one looking in a different direction. I also placed the other 2 traps on potential game trail looking areas, but then it was back out into the open to look for the Capercaillie once again.
This is like the only place in this video where I'll be heading back to for the second time. Like a constant teasing reminder. This is what I'm looking for, but this is all I'll find. Why do you do this to me? Well, same story. I haven't found anything, but it's actually really quite nice out here again. Do you know what it is, guys? I'm struggling because here there are signs of deer walking through, but I've not seen signs of Capercaillie or Wildcat anywhere, and that's makes things really difficult, obviously, when you're searching for them, because usually you'll be looking for the signs. And obviously in the last video we saw signs from poo and from a dead bird and also a paw print, but this time it's really bleak on that front, I can't lie. But somewhere out here there is one. There's got to be. Just leave me a sign. Right then, we're here. We found it. We've got the car. We've had no Capercaillie, obviously. No Wildcat either. Do you know what, actually? Not a lot of anything. But the car, it's back. So we saw this last time in March, and it still looks exactly the same. Yeah, it is rusting. It is rusting. But look in the back here. What's that? That's newspaper. Shall we have a look? That's really, really cool. So there wasn't much I could say last time in terms of like how this vehicle was here, what sort of date, but people were putting 2 and 2 together, and apparently this is from the 1940s, and people think Foresters left it in the 1950s. So let's have a look at this and see if we can get any clues as to a date. Straight away, right there in the middle, that says 1965. So it uses pounds. This is like, these are houses. So this is like houses for sale or something, property for sale. But it looks like some sort of, oh, there's an art gallery there. Yeah, date-wise, 1965. How interesting is that? 1965. I guess, do we call that then that this was left here in the 1960s rather than the 40s or the 50s, as people suggested? Like, why is there a newspaper in the back? Where did that come from? I don't know, I find that really interesting. So, maybe not in the 40s, maybe not the 50s, perhaps it was the mid-60s that this was left here. Wonder what the story is. It's a shame we'll never really be able to know, but I think this, just lying here in an area like this, oh, it's so cool. And do you know what as well? I've seen a photo of a Capercaillie stood on top of this. I'm not joking, but the problem is I can't find it. That photo, I've seen it, but I cannot locate it anywhere on the internet. If you guys have seen it, please let me know, and please let me know where I can see it, because I'm pretty sure I've seen one on top of here. And imagine if that happened to me right now. That'd be amazing. But yeah, look at that. What a wicked find. It's so cool. And I think dates it now to the mid-60s maybe? I don't know, would you agree? Either way, wicked. Look at this. Right, Spids, spider right there. In between this tree and this tree. You've created a big web. It's massive. So it's not very often you see like a spider in this country anyway, taking up tree size webs. But I've noticed being through here, there's quite a few of these, but like if you're from a city, you're not going to have seen this. So this is going to feel like Australia to you. Look at that. There we go. Look at me being really brave. Swear to God, if I touch the web, I might cry. I have no idea what this is. Someone tell me. That'd be great. Look, he's on my eyeball. All right. Oh, I touched the web. I touched the web. He like stopped for a second. Like, what was that on my web? Sorry, mate. Oh. Right, I'm going to leave him. See you later. Right then, you join me for another day. I'm back out in Abernethy. Targets for today for obviously the Capercaillie. But honestly, at this point in the video, I'll take anything that moves. Anything that I can film properly with this will be fabulous. Look at the size of that slug. Let me put my foot next to it. So I'm size 13 boot. He's an absolute monster. That is a big old boy, I can't lie. Flipping heck. I couldn't miss him. I thought it was a snake.
Big fat slugs aside, I did actually manage to get some footage of birds on this day, so that's a bonus. Here's a tree creeper doing what it does best. Then we have a great tit, as well as a blue tit, and a couple of chaffinches perched up nicely. But then, the best of all.
Guys. There's a Capercaillie. Oh my god. He's popping at me. Oh my god, I'm shaking. I'm shaking. Oh my god. 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 Oh, he's about to come out on the path. Oh my god, that is massive. Okay, okay. He does not like me. Oh my god, he's displaying at me. He's angry. Oh my god. Okay, I'm walking backwards. Oh my god, that's unbelievable. Okay. Okay, big boy. All right, big boy. Okay, big boy. It's all right, fella. Okay, mate. He's coming at me. Oh my god! I don't believe it. Oh god, he's not happy. Oh my god, Capercaillie. I've done it. Jesus Christ. How good was that? That was like having an encounter with a ghost. The Capercaillie is one of the rarest animals in the UK. There could be as little as 100 of those males left, and I've just come face to face with one. And that for me was one of the best experiences I've ever had while searching for wildlife. And I'm so happy to tick off one of the 2 species that we narrowly missed out on in the first video. But now the focus lies solely on the Scottish wildcat. I'd been searching around again in the days after the Capercaillie, but just not seeing anything to prove to me that there are cats around. No prints, scratches, scat, fur, just anything really. So I found myself praying for the camera traps to pick something up instead. I went back to what seemed like an animal highway. There wasn't much footage on these 2, but there was a pine marten once again. That left me with 2 traps to check though. This one here showed off a badger, and then a little chaffinch decided to trigger it, and then a lovely red squirrel. No cats though. So we're down to the last one, and it had badgers. It had a lot of badgers actually. And then a bouncy pine marten once more. But that was it. I was out of footage to review, and there was no Scottish wildcat. I was also out of time on this trip. I'd walked around Abernethy and Intriac Forest multiple times, day and night. I'd had 4 cameras out over 8 nights. I used the thermal tech every single day, but I got no hits on any of it. So I decided to roll the dice one last time back at the hide.
Who is going? He's walking away.
That was a Scottish wildcat just as we were about to get into the hide. We had spooked it and it ran away. And this was all I had managed to see of it. The rarest land mammal in the UK. It was quite a surreal fleeting moment and I didn't really know how to react. But we got into the hide, were quiet for a little bit, and amazingly, it reappeared again just in front of us. A Scottish wildcat. It's not the way I'd wanted to see one, but seeing one is still unreal. I actually asked Saving Wildcats for any information on this guy, and they got back to me with this. This cat is called Crypto and was released in summer 2023. The name actually comes from him having cryptorchidism, and because of this, he has subsequently been neutered. But because he has a pretty stable territory, the decision was made to remove his GPS collar and not recollar him, as he regularly appears on camera traps. Just not mine, apparently. So there we have it. Searching for the UK's rarest animals. After the first failure, this has been a resounding success. I just want to say thank you for watching, and especially to the members and patrons for supporting the channel. This is for you.